We live in a world where minds are confused by the noise of conformity. The power to think critically is a gift, a weapon against ignorance, a path to personal growth and societal change. Your mind needs to learn how to discern the profound from the superficial, the genuine from the misleading. As Socrates once said, an unexamined life is not worth living. But how do we develop our own critical thinking? Let's first understand what the word critical thinking is. The word critical originates from the Greek word kritikos, which means able to discern or skilled in judgment. The concept of critical thinking dates back to ancient times, with philosophers like Socrates and Aristotle emphasizing the importance of questioning, reasoning, and examining beliefs. In the 20th century, critical thinking gained prominence in the field of education and psychology. Scholars and researchers recognize the need for individuals to develop skills that go beyond memorization and rote learning, enabling them to analyze and evaluate information critically. In short, critical thinking involves the ability to think independently, examine information from multiple angles, and make informed judgments based on evidence and sound reasoning. Now, there are three key aspects of critical thinking. They are objective analysis, questioning, and logical reasoning. We will go all through of this, and by the end of the video, we will have better understanding of how to develop critical thinking in our daily lives. So let's dive in and explore each topic in more detail. First is objective analysis. Objective analysis is about approaching information and ideas without personal biases or emotional influence. For example, you want to buy a new phone. Of course, you won't go to the cell phone store and just choose whatever you want without researching what is the best for your situation, right? Unfortunately, many people fail at that, not only in cell phones but also from any part of the industry. This is due to being swayed by the marketing hype or anything similar, or just being convinced that since many people like it, I might like it too. Wrong. Let's consider the investment world. When making investment decisions, a crucial aspect is conducting due diligence. The secret of a consistent success in investment is in the word due diligence. Due diligence is the process of truly researching and evaluating an investment opportunity before committing funds. It requires objective analysis to make informed choices. Just as you wouldn't buy a phone without researching what is the best for your situation, successful investors apply due diligence. They examine the financials, market trends, and potential risks associated with an investment. They avoid being swayed by the marketing hype or personal preference. There are many people who fail at this and certainly not use their own critical thinking to process before making an informed decisions, like impulse buying, falling for misinformation, investment fads, or get-rich-quick schemes, and political biases. These examples highlight instances where people may fail to engage in critical thinking and objective analysis, resulting in decisions that may be uninformed, misguided, or influenced by external factors. Now, after objective analysis, let's move on to the second key aspects of critical thinking, which is questioning. There's a movie called The Matrix. It interprets the Matrix as an illusionary construct crafted by societal norms, expectations, and limitations that hinder personal growth. The Matrix represents a web of conformity, fear, and mediocrity that keeps individuals confined to predetermined paths and societal expectations. The main character, Neo, undergoes a transformation after he takes the red pill. This red pill opens his eyes to the reality that the world he knew was an illusion created by a system called the Matrix. He starts questioning everything he thought was real. Critical thinkers ask thought-provoking questions to deepen their understanding and challenge existing beliefs. They explore different perspectives and seek clarity and uncover underlying assumptions. Like on the movie The Matrix, Neo questions about what is the matrix, who controls the matrix, what is the purpose of the matrix, can he break free from the matrix, what is true freedom. The answers to Neo's questions are meant to provoke thought and encourage viewers to contemplate their own perceptions of reality and the potential for personal empowerment. In Athens, an ancient Greek philosopher named Socrates is widely regarded as one of the founding figures of Western philosophy. He is known for his distinctive method of his emphasis on the importance of questioning. He sought to challenge people's beliefs, assumptions, and values through a process of rigorous questioning. His method, known as the Socratic method or relentless, aimed to lead individuals to discover their own contradictions and limitations in thinking. In the Socratic method, Socrates engaged in conversations with others, posing questions to probe their understanding and encourage them to critically examine their own beliefs. Rather than providing direct answers, he would ask further questions to expose inconsistency or gaps in their reasoning. Here's an example of Socratic method in action through a back-and-forth dialogue. Socrates said, "What is the nature of courage?" The person said, "Courage is the absence of fear." But can someone be courageous even if they feel fear? Well, maybe courage is about overcoming fear. So, is courage just about conquering fear, or is there more to it? I think courage also involves taking action despite fear. Is it possible for someone to act courageously without feeling fear? I suppose so. Sometimes people act bravely even when they are not afraid. So, it seems that courage is not solely dependent on the absence of fear. Is there more something deeper that defines courage? Perhaps courage is about facing difficult situations with strength and determination. Good point. So, would you say that courage involves facing adversity, whether or not fear is present? Yes, that seems to capture the essence of courage. In this example, Socrates engaged in a series of questions and answers to explore the nature of courage. Through each response, he challenged the initial definition and prompts the person to reconsider their understanding. By encouraging further reflection and questioning, Socrates helps the person to refine their definition of courage, arriving at a more nuanced understanding that goes beyond the simple absence of fear. Questioning the things around us and not conforming is an important aspect of critical thinking and intellectual independence. It involves actively examining and challenging the information, beliefs, and societal norms that surround us. Now let's move on to the third key aspect of critical thinking, which is logical reasoning. Logical reasoning is the process of using valid and coherent thinking to reach sound conclusions based on evidence, facts, and logical principles. It involves examining the relationships between different pieces of information and drawing logical connections to make sense of the world. It sounds confusing at first, but here's an example to make it clear to you. For example, consider this statement: "The sky is cloudy, therefore it might rain later." This statement demonstrates how logical reasoning can be applied in everyday situations. By observing a cloudy sky, one may infer the possibility of rain based on the association between the cloud covers and previous experience of rainfall. This inference relies on the logical connection that cloudy skies often precede rain. Now, let's delve into a more philosophical example. Quote, "All humans die at the end. So am I." This statement prompts us to contemplate the universal nature of human mortality and its implications for our own existence. Through logical reasoning, we recognize the shared fate of all humans, acknowledging that death is an eventual and inescapable reality for everyone. This logical connection allows us to reflect on the temporality of life and to find meaning and purpose within the context of our mortality. Logical reasoning allows us to connect ideas, draw logical inference, and reach conclusions that are based on evidence and sound thinking. It helps us navigate the complexities of the world and make informed decisions and understand the broader implications of various concepts and observations. By engaging in logical reasoning, we can critically evaluate information, challenge assumptions, and arrive at more nuanced and well-supported perspective. All of the three things that I talk about is at first difficult to implement in your own life, but we will set some non-negotiables to develop and start building your own critical thinking. The first one is embracing personal responsibility. You need to know the importance of taking responsibility for your own life. Cultivating critical thinking involves recognizing that you are responsible for your beliefs, actions, and choices. By accepting responsibility, you become more inclined to question and critically evaluate your own thoughts and behaviors. In short, when you take ownership of your own thoughts and actions, you are more motivated to continuously improve your own critical thinking skills and make better informed decisions. The second one is develop good listening skills. Remember that you don't know everything. While listening, you will develop intellectual humility, which is the recognition that there are limits to your knowledge and understanding. Intellectual humility also involves being open to feedback and being willing to admit when you are wrong or have made mistakes. It means valuing truth and accuracy over ego and pride. As Socrates once said, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." Challenge accepted.